Hey everyone, and welcome back to In the Kitchen with me, Mikey. Yeah, that's who I am. And don't forget our cameraman behind us, Roy. Say hi, Roy.
Hi, Roy.
Okay, so, yeah, we're late. I don't want to hear about it. Actually, we're super early. The sun's still out.
Yeah.
Roy, for a couple of weeks, months, almost a year, has been wanting something called Eggs Benedict. I've stayed away from it, not because it's so difficult. It's actually pretty easy. I just don't like giving away my secrets. So I guess today I'm going to give away all my secrets. A very simple hollandaise sauce that any French chef would approve of. We are also going to do our homemade English muffins, which yesterday, I'll admit, I did a test batch to make sure everything was going to be okay, and Roy ate every damn one of them.
I had one. Or, excuse me, I had a half.
Oh, he's picky. He doesn't know.
Whatever.
So, when we get back, we will show you how to start your English muffins. They are not intimidating at all, and you don't have to heat up your oven. When we come back on In the Kitchen with me, Mikey. Muffins ready. How close you gonna get to me? Made me feel like I'm one of them special, like paparazzi. Okay, in our mixer, and when I do breads, I usually do my breads by the metric system, and there's a reason. It's a little bit more accurate. In here, I have 350 grams of all-purpose flour, 10 grams of salt, 10 grams of salt, 5 grams of sugar, 5 grams of active yeast, or 1 package. That's it. We're going to mix it up slowly, just to mix in all the ingredients. Make sure you don't add your salt just on top. It could kill the yeast. Let that mix for about 10 seconds. And over here, I have 115 milliliters of water and 115 milliliters of milk. I'm just bringing up the temperature a little bit. It'll help with the rise. It's a pretty warm day today, so this rise shouldn't take more than 20-25 minutes. If you're using a fresh yeast, your rise time could be up to 2 hours. I don't like the fresh. I'm sure there's people that do. Hey, go for it. I prefer just a good rapid rise yeast. So, here it is. 115 milliliters of milk, 115 milliliters of water, and honestly, I don't think it matters what kind of milk you use. Just keep in mind if you're using a nut milk, it is going to change your flavor slightly. So I just pour it in, let it go to town for a few minutes. Then you'll want to scrape down your sides. This is not one that you are going to, I really don't want to use the word knead, because you're not. You're just going to make sure everything comes together, gets off the side of your bowl. Put it in another bowl, which I'll show you here shortly, that is well oiled. And you'll cover it up in a warm spot until it's doubled in size, anywhere from 20 minutes to up to 2 hours, depending on the temperature of your house. Humidity is a big thing when it comes to baking and candy making. You'll hear me say that a lot. Once this is mixed and all come together, we'll show you the next step. After about a minute and a half, your dough will start to pull off of the sides and everything will be very well incorporated. Run it up on a medium to a medium high for another 30 seconds and you're done. Then you let it rise one full time until it's doubled in size. Like I said, this will take anywhere from about 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on what kind of yeast you use. I like a good rapid rise. I also buy all my yeast in bulk. Make sure if you buy it in bulk, you're not getting nutritional yeast. You're gonna be disappointed. You won't get any rise at all. So, this is going to be,
Look at that.
a tacky dough.
Tacky.
I knew that was coming.
Of course. Look at it. I'm sorry. You would not know that I was 56 years old.
You are not 56. We're not going to speak about age right now.
Well, I'm already
We are not speaking of age.
Okay.
Things that shall not be spoken of if we speak of them. Spoketh of them.
Spoken of it,
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. We just shan't speak of it.
We shan't.
We shan't.
Not to be confused with shat.
Mustn't.
Must not. Mustn't.
And Willem,
Willem.
if you ever get a hold of my videos, and I know one of these days you are going to get a hold of my videos, so I'm going to just do this right up front. You know, whilst, I know how you love that word.
Yeah.
Whilst you wait, you're not going to preheat your oven for this. And it's not a step I'm skipping. You don't. You cook these stovetop, preferably on a cast iron griddle or a cast iron pan. This recipe makes about five in one test batch. 5 in one little tiny one.
Yeah, the test one's for me.
All in all, this will take about 1 hour. And you can see your dough ball is still rather tacky.
Tacky.
You want to get your pan. I've got about, what would you say, Roy? About 2 tablespoons of oil? Feel free to use whatever oil you like. Just keep in mind any of your flavored oils will impart a little bit of flavor. So I just used vegetable oil. I try to stay away from canola because, to be honest, I've never seen a canola plant. Maybe it's just me.
I like to Google that.
If I'm not mistaken, it comes from something that's actually poisonous if it's not processed correctly.
Sounds like something I want to eat.
So, and we do still try to eat healthy. I've kind of sort of given up on the vegetarian stuff for a short time, but it will come back. One other ingredient that you will need, and you may not have floating around your house, is a little bit of cornmeal. Not cornbread mix or cornmeal mix. What's another one they call it?
Jiffy?
Yeah, you don't want to use things like that because it does have flour in it, which will cause this to burn long before your muffins get done. All right, once this does its first rise, we'll be back and show you how to make the muffins individual. Hello. Thank you guys for waiting so patiently. After 40 minutes, our dough has doubled in size. It's still tacky, but not tacky to the touch. It's still moist. Moist. I knew that was coming. Fold it over under a few times. Take a knife.
So moist.
And get if you want to weigh it out, go ahead and weigh it out. I'm not going to. Into as 4 equal balls as I can possibly make.
So moist.
And easy part. Take everything, fold it all underneath into a ball. Palm. And just roll it. And keep rolling until you get into a nice odd-shaped disc. I don't know what to call that, but you'll get the little spin mark. Lay it down in a cornmeal dusted pan. Cornmeal is tradition with these. You want these to rise again for 20 minutes.
Just fold it over and over and
Just
over
keep
and over
folding
and over.
it with the palm of your hand. If you find that your dough is sticking, you really don't want to add flour to your board, because the flour will burn where the cornmeal won't, real cornmeal. Okay, that one
Well, I'll tell you what, I get my cardio doing this.
And you don't really want to embed a lot of the cornmeal in it. It won't hurt anything, and I'm sure you've seen your muffins with it. They also do it on a big pizza chain, Daddy something. Gives the peppercini with their pizzas. They use cornmeal in theirs, and I think other chains do that. Chains do that as well. Try not to get them touching, because they will stick. I'm trying to think about what size that is. Looks to me about 3 inches across by about 1/4 of an inch. All in all, they'll be about
the size of this can on the bottom right here. Can of cornmeal. About that size.
They'll be about 2 ounces each.
That's pretty wet.
Yeah, I moved off my sticky spot. All
Maybe
right.
that's key. You never know.
Cover these, leave them on your counter for 30 minutes. I'm sorry, for 20 minutes on the second rise. When we get back, I will show you how to cook them. I'll tell you about that too when we get back.
But cook, huh? Sure you don't mean bake?
Welcome back. Our muffins have risen.
Okay.
What I have is an iron skillet. You want it on your lowest possible setting. Melt your butter just till you hear your first sizzle. You want to push your muffins down just slightly.
After they've risen.
After they have risen, set them directly in a buttered skillet. Buttered is traditional. If you'd like to use olive oil, by all means. Keep your temperature low. That's the only key to this. 5 minutes on each side. 5 minutes on each side. Yeah, there's always one piece of equipment that gives me trouble. If not the Instapot, the rice cooker, the stove not wanting to light. We've had a few incidences here.
The cameraman.
Yeah, I bet y'all like that from, what was that? The Low Country Seafood Boil.
Yeah.
When we have accidents. Well, these will cook 5 minutes on each side. When you turn them, I'll show you the trick to get the line to go all the way around. When we come back, I will also show you how to do our poached eggs. What do I have for the steamer? Asparagus
Yes.
and hollandaise sauce. Go ahead and get 2 sticks of salted or unsalted butter, your preference. Just cut back on your salt. And you want 3 egg yolks. When we come back, we'll show you how to make the hollandaise sauce and get all of this together for a great brunch or an everyday meal. Our timer has ended. The first 5 minutes. We will flip these over.
Ooh.
And don't worry, they are going to drop a little bit. That will give you your ring directly in the middle. Push just slightly. You'll see it, for lack of a better word, gush out the sides and give it the, what do they call that donut? Spare tire. It'll give you that spare tire look.
Okay.
5 more minutes. Be right back.
I've got a date with one of them.
That is a sound Roy likes.
Yes, a timer. I'd rather cook with a timer because, well, let's just say the 80s were quite good to me.
We have our first batch done. Just set those. Since there's nothing in here to worry about cross-contamination, there's no eggs. No eggs at all in there. A little bit of milk, but milk ain't bad for you. Before you throw your next batch in, this one is going to be perfect, Roy. I'll give you that.
Look at the rays on that.
That is absolutely perfect. Another way you can do with these, and I will show you an all-purpose recipe for sourdough, which I'm sure you noticed I have my little guy. I call him Charlie. I think everybody has a Charlie.
Here's Charlie.
That's Charlie. I've got him in a second bowl because I'm feeding him, and I expect that he'll kind of burp and bubble out. So for now, I've just got him. That'll be another episode.
Bye, Charlie.
Do you know he's every bit of 15 years old?
All right. He'll be driving soon.
All right.
Dun-dun-dun.
Almost through the cooked one in. Now this one is not pretty. This will have to be...
That's okay. We'll love it just the same.
Again, we're going to go to 5 minutes on each side. And I will say, if you're worried, maybe your skillet temperature isn't the same as mine. I'm not taking the temperature. I don't have one of the instant read thermometers for it. It would take forever with the thermometer that I have. Anyway, if you're not completely sure if you've got them fully cooked in the middle, don't sweat it. Do the same steps that I'm doing, 5 minutes on each side. Put them back in your cornmeal, toss them in a 350 degree oven for about 8 minutes. That way you'll know for sure that they're cooked all the way through. If not, you don't really want a gummy mess. Now would be a great time to start your boiling water so we can do our poached eggs. Let me tell you a secret. Depending on how many eggs you're going to do, the only secret is don't overcrowd your pan. Crack them individually into a ramekin or something, only for the fact if you break a yolk, you don't have to worry about messing up your water. Also, trick number 2, and I know this gets a whole lot of use. I use it in everything. A little bit of plain distilled vinegar.
Yes.
That will cause your albumin, or the white part of the egg, to seize up and not distribute within the water, which you don't want. Once it's up to a full rolling boil, turn it all the way down. Again, your lowest setting. Then drop your egg in. It'll seize right up. There's another trick you can use if you have to, and you're still worried about it. You can actually set your ramekin, if it's safe for the temperature, just in the middle of your boiling water. Put a lid on it. 3 minutes, you're good to go.
I'm glad you clarified on that word, albumin. I've been calling it albumin.
If I'm wrong, hey, tell me.
I don't know. I was just like, oh, I never thought of that.
Well, we've got about a total of 10 more minutes, and then we will start our hollandaise sauce, which is what scares a lot of people, scares a lot of chefs. Several ways you can do it. Traditional with the whisk. You know, back in the 1800s when the 5 mother sauces were created, we'll do a show just on those one day. When the 5 mother sauces were created, they didn't have modern technology. Stand mixer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Stand mixers, hand whips. So I'm going to make use of the technology that we have and still show you and keep true to it. Go ahead and get ready. I've already said this, but say it again. 2 sticks of butter, 3 egg yolks only. Really make sure you keep the whites out of the completely. Do not discard your egg whites. Those will make a great omelet in the morning. Add it in your stir-fried rice. Pretty much anything. We have our asparagus that somehow just magically got cleaned and cut perfectly. Oh, Roy might have had something to do with that.
Oh, did you say my name?
Hi.
Hey.
You'll need a half of 1 lemon, some either chives or green onion tops. We couldn't find the chives, and there is a difference between chives and green onions, and a little bit of Tabasco. When we come back, we'll put it together. Roy will work his magic and plate it up beautifully for you when we get back. Roy, I think those are about perfect.
That's a big one.
It kind of looks like a set of lips. We'll call that one the Jagger Benedict. Or Eggs Jagger.
There you go.
Mick, if you're watching, just laugh with us. Please don't sue me. Alright.
That's the muy grande.
Yes, that's for you. That'll be a 2-egger just by itself.
Or one to share with your best friend.
That is true. We're best friends, but
Yes.
I'm also fat, so I'll need more.
Well,
No, I don't need more.
I would
want
give you my share.
I wouldn't take food right out of your mouth. Unless it was a Beyond Burger. That'll be an episode 2 coming up.
That's a tasty topic. And I'm a meat eater and I love me some burgers, but you know,
We're going to toy around with that one.
Beyond Burger, it's coming soon.
Some area, we're lucky. We do have it. I'm shocked. But like Roy said, that's a video coming very soon. Okay, while all of your muffins are cooling, you really do want these to cool completely before you fork them open. I have one that for my test batch. I'll show you how to open up here in just a minute. We are going to do ours. In fact, let me go ahead and hit the broiler. Usually they'll fit in a toaster, but I did make these rather large.
They are grande.
So, while our oven is actually coming to temperature, I'm going to grab last night's muffins and show you how to fork them open. Oh, I've got the pan right there.
I'm
I
sorry.
was going to throw in the broiler. Okay, this is last night. Sometimes we do try to do test batches, especially with it something just really brand new for me, and I will. And as you can see, it's already marked for you.
This is the proper way of opening a muffin.
An English muffin.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
Chinese. This one's not French.
No.
French can't claim this one. Although, I think some French toast with this could be really good.
That would be interesting.
There you go.
Look at the color. Look.
Now, I'm not going to butter these until they come out. We have a couple more minutes. You know what we're not doing yet, Roy?
It's what?
Our hollandaise.
We could be making hollandaise.
2 sticks of butter in a microwave-safe
Oh,
container.
yes.
Make sure it is softened or you will have splatters. 1 minute. So we're going to get everything ready over here. Again, in that jar, or mixer jar, I have 3 egg yolks. To that, I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt. You'll have to watch my salt video coming up as a ha-ha blooper. You want the juice of 1 lemon. You may only need a half, but you can't just cut a half of a lemon. So I do squeeze it in to make sure I do not get the seeds. Yeah, I was trying to say shells. No.
That shot right back there is going to be very interesting, me trying to get that squeeze in.
Okay, it is very, very important you get your butter to about a rolling boil. And real butter does still have some moisture in it. You'll see what I mean if Roy wants to peek in the microwave before it boils over.
Too late.
No. as it fries the phone. I don't know how good that video is going to look because it is, you know, a microwave after all. Okay, so we have our butter smoking hot, which it needs to be because in this method, you're not using a double broiler sous vide. We're doing this all on top. The butter's got to be hot enough to cook your egg yolks. In here we have our half a teaspoon of salt, a good pinch of salt, 3 egg yolks, and the juice of 1/2 of a lemon. That turned out to be about a tablespoon. Real simple one, couple of dashes of Tabasco. Tabasco is a very mild flavor. You really don't want it to overpower the eggs because the eggs are stupendous. Drop in and just slowly add your butter. Our water is to a full boil. This is for our eggs. This in my steamer is for our asparagus. All I've got in there is a little salted water, nothing else. The Hollandaise is going to provide quite a bit of flavor. You only want to steam these for 3 to 5 minutes. Nothing is worse than mushy asparagus, except maybe mushy broccoli. Not good at all. So, you have your water to a boil. You want to turn it down low until all the bubbles have stopped. This will keep your egg from falling apart. Spin your water slightly, and you want to put it in the middle of the vortex, and it's supposed to keep everything all as one. And it did. It folded over on each other.
Look at that, would you? That's nice.
You want to cook it about 3 to 4 minutes.
Look what's back here.
That is some Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
Getting them ready.
Yeah.
And over to your left is what?
Now they just turned out pretty
A hungry kitty.
nice.
But those are our English muffins. You know you're not supposed to be in the kitchen.
Look, she is pushing it. That's Bobber, y'all.
That is my youngest. Okay, about a half of the cook time. Get your second egg ready. I do mine separate for one, in case what just happens. And there's a secret to getting this out, and I can't remember what it is. I think you wet your fingers first, and you can get your shells out. I will conquer.
I wish you could smell that.
That is a very good smell.
Yes, it is.
And that is ready. You just want your hand to heat through. Your first egg, which I will show you. That is a perfectly poached egg. Next one, same way. Bring back your temperature.
Look at that.
I may have got a little carried away with the spin on that one, but there we go. We recollected. We're going to start building this one. You know what, Roy? I did that in the wrong order.
I was going to say it's Canadian bacon and then the, but don't just.
No. Oh, too late.
Oh, that's okay. I'll eat the mistake. Yeah, you can go and do it that way. You
Sorry.
can put the egg right on top of there, and that won't be for you. We'll split one tonight. It ain't gonna cry about that. It's gonna look worse than that by the time it gets to me.
Our poached eggs have come out. Unfortunately, my hollandaise sauce did break slightly. It's going to happen, I guess, with any method. I should have let the butter cool just slightly, but it will taste just as good nonetheless, just a little thinner than what I would have wanted.
Best part. Look at that.
Well, it did come back together pretty well.
Nice. I would eat that in my socks. I would eat it in a box.
Just a little bit of green onion or chive for garnish. And you have a wonderful any day of the week breakfast, lunch, or even dinner. Thank you guys for stopping by. Since you're here, you've seen the food, you've seen us make fools of ourselves. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And if you want to come back and do this every week and know when we post a new video, just hit the little bell.
Ding dong.
Thank you guys for stopping by my kitchen. You guys have a great night.